Hello and welcome back. Episode 5 of the Stevens Playbook. I'm Michael.
Not bad.
And it's the end of the weekend. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. It's go back to work day for me. Um, but a lot has happened. YouTube video drops tomorrow, so that's all filmed and done. Mentioned that yesterday, but look out tomorrow if you're watching this current, which I doubt you are, but
If you are, that's really cool.
if not, go back, find it. First episode of the series. The series dedicated to reaching the 10,000 pound club, where I hit the 3 lifts for my 10 rep max and it combines to 10,000. It's just a glorified version of the 1,000 pound club, but it's much harder. So I made it up. I don't think anyone's doing it at play. So that's something. What else happened today?
Today we spent all day, not all day, but a majority of the day trying to find up better systems in place, and I think we've decided on Monday.com for our way of organizing tasks and for Michael and I to be on the same page when we're off doing various different things that we can come back to a central area that has like all of our tasks on it and like when we plan on accomplishing it. And
Yeah. So one thing I noticed, at least while I'm geographically separated when I'm at work or whatever, and I'm pulling up what I need to work on for a project, which right now is the app first and foremost. I'm pulling up that and I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of hard to remember what our steps are and what kind of needs to be done at this point in time. So we're working on that visibility of the chain of what needs to happen. We're going along with the processes that's generally um, adopted by the project managers in bigger companies to to follow that critical path schedule. I know I studied it in school for supply chain, but what it is basically is it takes all of the tasks in the project and it lines it up. It figures out, okay, here's the bottleneck, or this is going to take the longest amount of time. Things would be waiting on this, and then you can prioritize and accomplish. It's made for bigger teams, but that's fine because as we scale, it's something that we are already going to be used to using, and it'll be easy to bring more people into. And what we're doing right now is already a large task in itself. So it's got a lot of stages, a lot of parts. We're working with external entities in ways to create parts of the chain, parts of the software. So there's a lot of moving parts, and having a software like this to really just kind of lay it all out for us. And
have we told them that
about
we're
the
working?
app,
Yeah.
we mentioned it. So there's an app,
Really?
and we're working on it. And if you're a coach, you're gonna love it,
Mhm.
or anyone who's into fitness. Um, but yeah, so basically, what the app is it's a way for coaches to communicate with their clients. It's going to be kind of an all-in-one platform where they can send their workouts, they can send the meal plans, they can send all these things. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's already a thing. I know a couple of these apps, but it's different. So this one, there's going to be more visibility for the coach. He's going to be able to see the metrics that the client is pursuing or is doing. He's going to see his macros. He's going to see his effort put in. He's going to see his reps and sets. He's going to see what else? What am I missing?
There's gonna be a community part of it where where people can get together and challenge each other as well.
Yeah. So we're in the early stages of this, and I know by the time by the time competitors start listening to this, you're gonna be too late. So yeah, we got a lot to do right now. We're trying to figure out, what's the minimum viable product that we can put out that can bring in that we can use as like a starting place, and we can start gathering feedback on that and then slowly implementing new features, processes that is going to just make life better for the
Mhm.
coach, for the client, for anyone using this app individually, and it'll be something great. So that's what we're working on right now. But yeah, so this software Monday.com will hopefully help us out with that. It's a
And we do look at other softwares throughout the day, but it seemed that Monday.com was the easiest and most intuitive to use. So
it reminds me of Robinhood. If you're a stock trader, where
he likes Robinhood.
it's like yeah, I do. It's like this is the the it makes it really easy to get into, and
Hmm.
it's easy for us to figure out and start using right away. And then what it's also going to be is easy for a new hire or someone who is not familiar with the CPS softwares to also get in and start moving from day one.
As far as like our as far as like our big grand playbook ideal, having a great place for communication is like top of the list. Like we have a lot of plans for the future, but it starts with having a good place that we can all organize our thoughts into one area and give ourselves critical tasks and deadlines. So that's our first step of many in the future.
Yeah.
What did you learn today?
Well, I did some reading. I like to do that. Right now I'm reading Get Out of Your Way by Russ, the rapper. So it's kind of a mindset thing, but there's nothing wrong with that. So some of the things he's talking about are takeaways at least that I got is just, get out of your own way as the name of the book. When you pursue your passion, which is what you want to be doing in life, really. So if you're not pursuing something that you're passionate about, you might want to rethink about that. Something I'm passionate about is fitness. I like helping people. I like just learning and getting better and seeing other people get better. So if you follow your passion, you're going to get fulfillment out of it. That's kind of one of the things that he talks about. Um, and he also says the world doesn't bet on talent; it bets on people who bet on themselves. So as you can see, we're putting out these podcast episodes with the understanding that it's going to take time, but it's going to be something that people can use to get better, or at least just understand, how do these people get to the point where they're at? Because it's going to happen.
There's no question that we're going to be very successful in our endeavors.
Hmm.
And right now we're just learning it. And both Michael and I both are very confident that it's going to happen. And so this is just our way of showing you guys like we don't really know what we're doing right now. But that's we can only say that so many times before we're like, okay, we're starting to figure this out. We started to figure that out. Like you're only gonna hear so many of these podcasts where we're just like, we have no clue what we're doing. And
Yeah.
eventually we'll figure it out.
I think there's a version of me in an alternate universe that just kind of goes with the flow, goes to work 9 to 5, goes home, and then they're thinking, "What if?" And I don't want that to be the version that I'm currently or ever will be. So that's my goal is not to be that person, and I'm not that person right now. But I'd rather say, "Oh well," than "What if?" So that's the approach we're on. Um, what about you? You got anything?
I've been reading this book, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. It's a very good book as well.
It's a long book. I read that one.
All right, yeah, it's. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the driest books. Not not one of the driest books I've read. I've read a lot of dry books. This is a very dry book. However, there is so many good bits of information in here that makes me have to like suffer through reading this because I do learn a lot reading this book. And if I was take, and then I write it all down here too, so I got a bunch of notes of of my key takeaways. But I guess I try to read a minimum of 5 to 10 pages a day. I can do more, I can do less. No, I won't do less. I could do more, but I won't do less. So that way the book eventually gets done. This is one of those that it's hard for me to read more than five, but I chug along every day until it gets done. But some key takeaways I got from yesterday is um, clothing can give the illusion of authority. So, for instance, like lab coats to security guards. So, the illusion of someone having authority, um, the con artists use it a lot. That the compliance rate of people will just subconsciously think that, oh, this person has a certain type of outfit on, whether it's where it is a lab coat or whether it's a security guard or whether they're just dressed really nicely. They get the illusion that they might know more than the average person, and so people are more willing to comply with it.
Yeah, that's why we're wearing cutoffs and
Yeah, that's the reason we're all dressed for success over here right now. All right, suits and ties tomorrow.
yeah. I don't know about that. I'm probably just gonna chill with my cutoff
Yeah,
and short shorts that you can't see
we'll
because they're
we'll
the
let our um we'll let our results speak for themselves.
but it's a good thing to keep in mind. I guess if you're going to close a deal, you want to dress, for the occasion. You don't want to walk in there with a cutoff.
Well, it's not even close the deal. It's just the psychology in general of someone in a lab coat that says like it's okay to shock this person like
Mm.
with the high voltage, more people are going to comply with that than
Yeah, that's the experiment
that
that's
was
written
that was
about.
an experiment in there that was very interesting.
Yeah, there's just a lot about psychology. There's almost too much about psychology to learn.
Yeah,
But you just kind of can't. You got to focus on subcategories if that's something that you really want to like dive into, which is important to understand as like anything, a business or work, or if you're trying to be an entrepreneur within a business, whatever it is that you're doing, it's always about people and understanding how to communicate. So
I mean
it's
that's
worth spending
literally
a little
the
bit of time into it,
foundation of anything is communication.
which is why we're doing this so we can get better at it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's basically the takeaways. Basically just watching the film well before you make it to the league. Another quote in here. But what it's saying is just like, watching what are other people doing that are in the space. What are people that are, much further ahead than you are or we are? What are they doing? And what can we take from that? Or look and say, okay, well, that's not what I want to be doing because I'm not that kind of person. I'm doing this. And that's kind of why we put this out. One, so we can get better, and two, so you can get better.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just like you said, we're here to review our own actions through these videos, and you get to see the whole process
Well,
because it's only a matter of time
awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in.
until tomorrow.